Darkwood is a survival horror game developed and published by Acid Wizard Studios. It was first released on Steam Early Access on July 24th, 2014, and was later fully released August 17th, 2017. It is a semi-open world game with the player unlocking new areas and chapters as they progress through the game. It has a top-down point of view with a crafting and trading system and a day and night cycle. The game also includes a sneaking and combat system with a skill tree. The game takes place in a forest in Poland in the 1980s. A mysterious forest has engulfed a large amount of land and continuously grows. Many people have been trapped inside the forest, and a strange plague is killing the survivors and turning them into monsters and deformed abominations. A group called the Outsiders, made up of mostly government officials, were sent out to explore the forest and set up hideouts and tunnel systems to get in and out of the forest. However, when the game takes place, most of the Outsiders have been killed off or left the forest. When the game starts, you play as the Doctor as he is searching the forest for supplies and a way out of the forest. After the prologue, you play as the Stranger, who is a man looking for his stolen key in an underground tunnel that leads out of the forest. Some notable characters that help the main character are the Wolfman, the Bike Man, and a man who is obsessed with space travel. As the game opens up, you are greeted with the Doctor rambling about how the forest has covered all the exits and trapped the inhabitants, along with his dreams to escape the forest and him being unable to treat the plague before he passes. While the Doctor is searching for gasoline in the forest, he comes across an unconscious and injured stranger. The Doctor searches the stranger and finds a large key and believes that the stranger possesses the knowledge to escape the forest. The Doctor captures the stranger and interrogates him to find a way out. The story switches the focus on the stranger as he finds a way out of the house. After the house is explored for a bit, it is broken into by creatures and the stranger goes unconscious. During the cutscene that happens after the stranger is knocked unconscious, it is implied that a trader wanders across the house and rescued the stranger and brought him to the hideout in the dry meadows. After waking up, the stranger explores his surroundings and an underground tunnel to see if the Doctor had gone through the door with the key. You find that the door was sealed and has not been opened in a while. After finding that the Doctor has not escaped, you can either side with the Wolfman, the musician, or use your own devices to find the Doctor. After exploring the mysterious forest, you find the Doctor in an abandoned train wreck that he must attempt to resist the stranger in. You have several choices you can make, such as unaliving the Doctor or letting him accompany you through the underground tunnel. No matter what choice you decide to make, going through the metal door at the end of the tunnel ends Chapter 1. When the stranger leaves the tunnel, he realizes that it does not lead out of the forest, but instead leads to a swamp. You find a beheaded corpse of one of the traders, and the next day you will be visited by 3 masked strangers. In Chapter 2, the choices that you made previously will affect the outcome. If you did not aid the Wolfman, he will steal items from the stranger and lead them to a trap, but on the other hand, if you follow the Wolfman's path, the musician will appear in the hideout of the stranger. When exploring, the stranger comes across a large talking tree in the way out of the forest. The tree tells the player to explore an abandoned radio tower, but the residents of the village request the stranger burn and destroy the tree. Both are ways out of the village and will push you to the epilogue. The epilogue opens with the stranger pushing through the mysterious forest into a village in an apartment complex. You settle up and rest for a long while. While exploring, the player reveals that the ending is just an illusion. You start spotting strange things inside the apartment. You start noticing strange vines and roots growing into the floor that lead to a hole under the bed. When entering the hole, the stranger will wake up unclothed in a strange overgrown tunnel. The stranger soon realizes that the road home does not lead back home, but instead leads to a chamber filled with thousands of people, dead or asleep, curled up into a ball around a mysterious creature. The creature begins to make the stranger feel tired. You can either choose to resist the being or not. If you choose to not resist, the stranger will fall unconscious and wake up at the apartment with bliss and ignorance. If you resist, the stranger will find a flamethrower laying in the sleepers and will destroy the creature and everything around. The stranger unfortunately was unable to escape due to the fast spreading fire. The flames destroy most of the forest and the inhabitants. The stranger's sacrifice allows for military to save the forest and its residents to restore sanity and order. Both of the endings have text blocks that describe in detail the fate of the player, based on the actions you choose to pursue. Critics wrote very positive about the game before and after its full release, some even putting it in their top 100 best games of all time. Metacritic voted it an 80 out of 100 on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox, and a 74 out of 100 on Switch.